Hey everybody, this is Captain Yeet here with you celebrating the 24th anniversary of Scooby-Doo, the movie. So let's get into it. I never actually knew that it was called Scooby-Doo, the movie. I never actually saw the movie tagline until recently. On some stuff it just says Scooby-Doo, but it's actually a little tagline that says the movie. As you know, I'm a really big Scooby-Doo fan ever since I was a little kid. My mom told me that when I was like really, really little, Scooby-Doo and Teen Titans would come on the TV all the time, and I'll sit right in front of the TV like a statue. I wouldn't move because I love Scooby-Doo that much. My family knew I loved Scooby Doo, so one Christmas, I can't remember if it was my second oldest sister or my first oldest sister, but one of them got me the Scooby Doo collection of one and two. I fell in love with these movies. I used to rewatch these things all the time. I actually still do from time to time. They're just so good. I just love them so much. I remember my very first time watching Scooby Doo the movie. Man, I was crying my eyes out. I'm not even lying. I was crying my eyes out because in the very beginning of the movie, after they beat the Luna Ghost, remember that's when the whole gang splits up. Velma feels like she's not appreciated enough because Fred always takes credit for the stuff that she does. Daphne kind of wants to just get away from the group because she's always the damsel in distress and wants to actually become well, not become her. I guess technically, I guess becoming her own person, but also, I guess, oh yeah, but one is becoming her own person, and two, I guess technically to get some training in. That's not like a big reason why she's leaving, but I guess to technically yeah to get some training in because it is that deleted scene to where she's like training in kung fu, but she does like 20 flips and flips into a giant tree. They took that out. I wasn't would have kept that in. I mean, I know that took a long time. Maybe they sort of like cut it down a little bit, but when it showed what each member of the gang was doing during their 2 year time skip before they met back up on Spooky Island. I think they could have kept that in because Velma's part wasn't that sore. She was still kind of unappreciated in the group when she was talking like that therapy group. Fred was selling a book about him, so they did keep that in. He was talking to Velma in the airport, and he was like, "I have my own book." Fred on Fred, the many faces of me. They did keep that in, but he was also doing like he was at a convention talking about how you supposed to unmask somebody. Like, they should have kept those things in. Obviously, we know what Scooby and Shaggy been doing. They just been chilling, eating all day. They weren't really doing anything. But anyway, like I said, my very first time watching this movie in my room, I was crying when Mystery Incorporated broke up. I've seen so many episodes of Scooby Doo before watching this movie. Like I said, I loved it. And then when we get to the scene, they were like, I quit. You know what? No, I quit. I was like, what? Are they serious? Like, I started crying so hard. I was so sad. And then eventually, when they all started to meet back up on the plane, I got happy again. I was like so worried that the gang was actually gonna split up for good. Boy, oh boy, you guys should have seen my face. I was so scared. This movie, I know you guys heard it probably so many times, but this movie was supposed to be rated R at first. I don't know why they would do that. I mean, honestly, me today, whenever they try to make a live action anything, I always say make it animated. This is like the only live action I want to come back because it's just so good. Like the casting is perfect. Even Matthew Lillard still voices Shaggy till today. That's how good he was with the Shaggy voice. But this movie was supposed to be rated R to begin with. I don't know why they tried to do that. Now obviously they did take a good chunk of the rated R stuff out. You can still kind of see it in some scenes in the movie, like whenever Fred gets taken over by the monsters. Remember when Scooby and Shaggy found him? He goes, "Yo, I told that B later on." Like what? Like, there's still some rated R stuff still like sprinkled in the movie. They couldn't cut it all out. Also in the deleted scenes, there's that one scene of Velma like sexually dance, not dancing, but sexually like what's the word? Like, I guess flaunting her body on the piano when she was supposed to sing that song in the hotel before the monster shows up. There's also the scene to where after the monster, do they have an official name? I tried to look up the official name of those purple monsters of Spooky Island. I only ever found the Spooky Island demons, or just demons. So I guess they just called demons. I just call them Spooky Island monsters. I've just been calling that all these years. But anyway, there's that scene. I mean, there's a deleted scene with Velma dancing in a what is it in like the bathhouse with a bunch of other girls in bikinis because they got taken over by monsters. I'm like, what are they doing? That deleted scene did kind of creep me out a little bit. 'Cause remember at the end, Daphne was like, "Velma, what are you doing?" Because he doesn't understand. They got taken over, and then Velma and all the other girls starts to screech like the monsters and run after Daphne. She has to book it out of there. Like, what's going on? Like, she's like getting really. You know what? Actually, think that was, I mean, obviously a deleted scene was supposed to be in the movie, but I just realized, remember when Daphne was in some sort of like pool house, and as soon as she walked out or ran out, that's when the Mexican wrestler grabbed her and took the damage rightist. I'm betting, she was in the pool house, saw Velma and them, ran out, and then boom, we get the scene. So I guess they just cut the bathhouse. I never know. Oh, me talking, I just realized that. I feel so dumb. I guess they just cut that scene out completely. I guess they technically still kind of had it in there. Okay, that's kind of cool. I guess they still kind of had it in there. But anyway, this movie wasn't gonna be rated R, and they kind of took it out. I'm glad they did that because why would you do that for Scooby Doo? It's like that Velma show. That one was so garbage, man. I didn't even watch it. My third oldest sister did, and she was like, "What's the problem, Captain Yeet?" I was like, "No, we were going back and forth on that. That is not a good song, that Velma show. That was ridiculous." I'm like, "You know me. I know Scooby Doo knowledge. I know ball. That is not that is not Scooby Doo, that Velma show at all." But I do love this movie, man. I love it so much. Let's get into the actual plot and characters of the movie because obviously, like I said at the beginning of the movie. Oh, actually, I also want to mention this too. Now, when I show scenes on my TV, right now I'm specifically on Netflix because it's a bit easier for me to zoom backwards and forwards on Netflix to get to specific scenes I want to show. Now, obviously, Netflix doesn't have the special features option and they don't have the deleted scenes I want to show. So halfway through this video, I'm gonna pause it and pop in the DVD so I can. Oh, let me spin it around really quick. I'm gonna pause it and pop in the DVD, and then I can go to the main menu and go to the deleted scenes and stuff I want to show. But for right now, I'm just gonna show the scenes on Netflix. Anyway, with that being said, where was I? Yeah, the plot. I was kind of confused for a second. The plot and everything with the movie. Like I said before, in the beginning of the movie, it was supposed to have an animated scene of them in like in cartoon form, just running around from different Scooby Doo villains trying to kidnap them, and it was going to transition into live action with that first shot of the toy factory, and it was like fully animated because with deleted scenes some stuff would like be somewhat CGI, somewhat not. No, that whole scene was fully animated. It looks beautiful all the way. They just took it out. I mean, the only thing I can see that's a problem with it is it does drag on for a tiny bit long. I mean, I don't really mind that, but I can see execs be like, yeah, this does last a bit too long. You could have just cut it up. Just have the beginning with them introducing themselves, like, Matthew Lillard as Shaggy, Freddie. That's so cool that his name is actually Freddie Prinze Jr. His name is Freddie. He was born for this role. He was literally born for this role. And it's cool too that Daphne and Fred, the live action people, they actually got married in real life. I heard they didn't really like each other. Not like they hated each other, but they weren't like romantically liking each other at first. But filming this and two, they eventually got feelings for each other and they're still married to today. And Velma sees Hawkeye's wife. I never noticed that. She doesn't look like Hawkeye's wife at all. And obviously she's not wearing the same stuff, but still, that surprised me. I did not know that. That really surprised me. But let me get back into the actual plot and stuff of the movie. Also, I don't know if you guys are wondering, but I did technically kind of do an anniversary video for Scooby-Doo the movie like 2 years ago, but I did it on the 8th. Today is the actual day it came out in theaters. The 8th is whenever they sold it off. I guess I like the red carpet thing. And I always wanted to redo this anniversary video because back then I didn't actually rewatch the movie. I kind of just woke up one day, saw it was the 8th, and I was like, oh, let me just do Scooby-Doo the movie. And I just kind of spitballed what I could remember. I didn't get a chance to actually rewatch it and my lighting was really weird. It was really bright. It was a lot of light streaks. It's not. I know I got like almost 900. I think it is at 900 views. I know I got a lot of views, but still, I just don't like the way it looks, and I want to give you guys the best thing I can give you guys. So that's why I'm redoing this on the actual date it came out in theaters. I hate when I look up an anniversary date and it's like, oh yeah, it came out on this date, but the date is like a red carpet showing. That's not the actual in theaters date. I hate when it does that. Anyway, with the actual plot, after they break up, Mondavarius, he calls Scooby and the gang to come to Spooky Island to solve a mystery. Now, the mystery he gives to the gang, the false mystery, is that there's something weird, like a magical spell, being put on these college students to Spooky Island. And so the spell is changing them. And we see that firsthand, where we see a bunch of these kids, or college students, coming off of the island and they're all prim and proper, they're acting really nice. And all the college kids coming onto the island, the college kids, they're rowdy, they're going crazy. And we see this one college kid walk up to somebody that's leaving. And he goes, hey, Cyril, it's me. I forgot his name, but you know the scene I'm talking about. He's like, yo, Cyril, it's me. We've been friends since like, kindergarten. How you doing? And she goes, back off my grill. Picks up this grown man over her head and throws him like 20 feet that way. Yeah, something is up with these college kids. Something is wrong here. something is very, very wrong here. I don't know what, but something is going on. So obviously, all the members of the gang want to figure out exactly what's going on. Everybody besides from Scooby and Shaggy, they just kind of came here for the free food. It was sweet though that Shaggy was trying to get the gang back together so many times. Because when they were having an argument in the beginning after the Luna Ghost thing, he was trying his best not to have the gang split up. He was like, come on, Fred, you're the big banana. Fred was like, I don't mind being, Fred. And also the little scene in the toy factory is hilarious. Shaggy and Scooby on the skateboard. Fred is just messing up the everything. It's just so chaotic. And he was like, "Oh, hey Scooby, stop shaking. Hey, that's you. Oh, it is me. Okay." You're like, Scooby, we have to be serious. What's going on? He's right behind me, isn't he? That was a classic Scooby boy. That had me cracking him. Scooby looks good. Even to today, Scooby looks so good CGI wise. I know you have you guys seen that clip of Scooby in the new Netflix show? I mean, I thought I don't know. I'm talking about Scooby Doo the movie. Let's get into that later. But anyway, with that being said, on the island, like I said, I mean, no, Shaggy tried to really keep the gang together. He was trying to make a good argument for them to be all together at the beginning, but they left anyway in their own separate cars. That was kind of, I was like, well, did they not all just come in the mystery van? You like, I thought they all just came in the mystery van, but I guess not. But they all go in their separate cars. Then when they meet back up at the airport, they didn't really want to talk to each other, specifically Daphne. I rewatched the movie like 2 days ago with some of my friends in Discord, and one of my friends pointed out that Daphne gave Velma and Fred the finger. I never noticed that. I do notice that one of her fingers do kind of go upwards whenever she does like the zip move on her mouth. But I never really noticed that until we looked up GIFs and the GIFs kind of slows it down. And yeah, you do see the finger go really upwards like this whenever she does the zip move on her mouth. I'm like, oh. Now you can't really tell if it is her middle finger, but maybe. I mean, like I said, this movie was supposed to be rated R, so I don't know. Here's one really sweet scene at the very end of the movie when they all put their hands together and go whoop. I love that. Anyway, well, yeah, actually, before I forget, I know I'm gonna forget this. That music video on the disc, of the Land of a Million Drums. So you can see. I don't know specifically who those guys are, but those little black guys. That sounds racist, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm singing the song. You see Shaggy in the background every now and again, just goofing off with them. I used to watch that all the time. I used to just replay that song because it's a decent song. I mean, like, at least for me, it's a decent song. I do like it a lot. Anyway, also, where was I? Yeah, yeah. Also at the airport, that was a really sweet scene too. When everyone was about to walk on the plane, and Shaggy's like, "Come on, man! It's been 2 years. How about Mystery Inc. finally comes back together? How about we all put our hands in a pile and we go woohoo on three, or go Mystery Inc." And Daphne, she was kind of down. She was like, come on, let's. Oh, and Scooby said, "Do I quit? No, Scoob, friends don't quit." Oh, that was. Oh my goodness, I feel so sad. But in the airport, when Daphne was like, "I'll do it if Fred and Velma do it," and Fred said, "People are watching the SAG," and he walked away. And then Daphne walked away, and it was just Velma. And she just looked at him and smiled. I was like, "Oh my goodness, come on, just be friends again." I was so bad. I was so upset. Like, why? Come on. Do woohoo. Yeah, Scoob. Woohoo. Hey, what did Fred say? Velma, a simple um discipline. Just flick a dog on the nose. Hey, Scoob. It's Scoob rocked him. That Joker was that like or Scrappy was like, come on, I can still fight you after he lost all his power. Scooby just flicked him. He went flying into to the wall. He was also gonna call them the B word too before they shut the door. But when they get to the island, we find out what's really going on. The Scrappy Doo is actually Mando Mondavarius. He's been working together with the monsters on Spooky Island. Now, the monsters were already kind of mad to begin with because the real Mondavarius, and that dude does mention that to do with the tattoo on his chest. He says that on this land is sacred land with spiritual powers, with spiritual energy with it. And Mondavarius put a theme park on their island and that made the monsters angry. How exactly did Scrappy, partner up with these monsters for them to agree with this? I don't know. I mean, they probably agreed really quickly because we're gonna help them get this amusement park off the island. How I don't know, but he was posing in a robot body of Mondavarius, tricking these teens to come to Spooky Island. Whenever it's nighttime, when the monsters can come out because sunlight kills them, the monsters will ransack the hotel, grabs a bunch of students, and the monsters can go inside of somebody's body if their soul isn't in their body. They don't kill the well, I guess technically it's somewhat killing, but they don't kill the kids. They have this machine that can specifically take your soul out of your body and put your soul into a vat. Because I know this sounds crazy, but Scrappy has to absorb all these souls plus a pure soul, which is Scooby. That's why he tricked them to come to the island. Also, he hates Mystery Incorporated. That's why he invited everybody else there too, so that he can take their souls too to become all powerful. He turns into like a giant version of like those monsters on Spooky Island. It's a crazy plot. It's a really crazy plot, but it's still really cool too. I've noticed a deleted scene that specifically shows how they do it because in the movie we see how they take your soul out your body. They have like this claw pincher thing that just goes into your chest and rips out your soul, and your soul is just like a head of yourself that talks. And whenever your soul goes back into your body, it ejects the monster out of you wherever you are. But the monsters can't survive in sunlight. That's why they use your body. Every now and again, their monsterness kind of seeps through. I don't know if it's on purpose or well, I guess it's on accident because there was that one scene where that singer, remember he was singing at that pool party with Daphne, and he looked at Daphne when he took off his sunglasses, and his eyes just randomly turned green, and his voice got deeper for a few seconds. I doubt he did that. I doubt he meant to do that on purpose. So it kind of just seeps through. I remember when Mary Jane, the Saggy's love interest in the movie, Velma has a love interest too, but I mean, they barely get these scenes together. But the love interest for Saggy, Mary Jane, she hits her head on a tree branch when Saggy and Scooby get on those four wheelers to get away from all the monsters inside of people's bodies. And when she hits her head, you kind of see the monster body inside of Mary Jane. It's kind of creepy, but you see like you guys know the scene I'm talking about. You see like the monster body inside of there looks pretty crazy. Also, there was another scene where they kind of slipped up. It was with Mary Jane too, when Shaggy and Scooby were fighting. Come on, two shots. And Scooby fell through the hole. Shaggy was like, "I gotta go get my boy." No, Shaggy, huh? Shaggy turned around. What? Around so quickly. What is happening? That was funny. Mary Jane is a man in a mask. Mary Jane is a man in a mask. You know what? I know second like, what is going on? What's happening? But anyway, yeah, but they see through. But what I was gonna say, this is the latest scene that specifically shows the scene where they take the soul out of Daphne, and then the monster, his body turns into mist. I'm gonna pop in the DVD, like I said, I'm gonna pop in the DVD to show some stuff. But his body turns into mist, and the mist form of the monster goes inside the body, and then it takes control. Now these monsters don't really know how to act like people, so that's why inside of the abandoned castle, there's the like educational video. But like, if like Scrappy, what are you doing? Because this is kind of dumb. Because these kids act like 80s or something, not like modern times or like the 70s. Who made this video to have these kids? Well, I keep saying kids, but have these college students act like 70s like kids, or college like what? You get what I'm saying, right? Like, why isn't that a more modern, up to date version of how to act? Why they acting like back in the day? Like, what? What is going on? Like this makes no sense. I don't know why they're not like a more up to date version. Like this was pretty dope. That was dope, man. I do love the I was about to mention I do actually, actually before I mention that, I do want to mention this one funny story with me. There was actually two funny stories with me watching this movie. Number one, I remember I went to a family reunion way out of town, and I brought the DVD. I brought this with me. I had this since I was a kid, man. I keep good care of it. But I brought the DVDs with me, and we went to go spend the night at my aunt's house instead of going to a hotel. Me and my family. And when we watched Scooby Doo one, when it got to that scene where it's supposed to be like a little innuendo of like Scooby and Shaggy smoking, oh my goodness, my mom said, "Oh, I thought they were smoking actually my first time watching this," and I got a little upset. I was like, what? They wouldn't smoke. 'Cause I knew smoking was bad as a kid. I'm like, they wouldn't smoke. I didn't understand I was supposed to be the joke that they were supposed to be smoking, so I got a little upset. I wasn't screaming at her, but I'm like, what? They wouldn't do that. That's funny. Number one. Number two, this isn't really a funny story, but I know on the DVD, there's like on both DVDs for Scooby One and Two, there's a little claw game you can play on the DVD. I could never get it to work. Even that game on the second one, I could never get that to work, man. I was so upset I couldn't get that to work. I guess that's number two. Number three, this movie made me afraid of the dark when I was a kid. It made me afraid of the dark because I mentioned this in the first video too, but this is like the redo, so I gotta bring it up again. It made me scared because I was going to deleted scenes, and there's one deleted scene that specifically shows what each member was doing before they all met up inside the Spooky Island castle. You ate out of a toilet. So do you. But it shows them what they were doing. Fred specifically mentioned he followed some weird footprints up to the the Spooky Island castle. And yeah, you do see that in the deleted scene. You see what everyone else is doing. Now, specifically, Velma and the boy that she's like flirting with throughout the movie and Scooby, they're on I guess you call it like a gondola, I guess. It's that thing you ride in like a zoo, and they'd be like, on the right it's a elephant, on the left is that. But they're riding on that. That one joke on Velma, that was kind of harsh. He was like, "Oh, you're part of Mystery Incorporated?" She was like, "Yeah, I am." "And you always been a chick?" What? Oh man, that is I know she feels so bad. Her stomach had to be turning. But anyway, the scene I was talking about with and that is at the end of the scene, Scooby, he falls off of the gondola thing and he looks into the woods. And when he looks into the woods, he sees something and he gets really scared and he runs away. You hear the narrator start to say that and come over to the bonfire so you can hear the history of Spooky Island. And when the camera pans over to the woods to see what Scooby sees, it's one of the monsters just hiding in the woods and he's laughing at the screen, so he's looking directly at you. And you kind of see his like he's kind of somewhat in shadow. You kind of see his like outline. You also see his like teeth and his eyes glowing in the darkness. And I didn't click play all. I just clicked that specific scene. So when I saw that, it kind of freaked me out that he was looking straight at me, laughing. Cause I've seen the monsters before. I watched the movie beforehand. The monsters did kind of creep me out a little bit, but they were like terrifying me. But that scene terrified me. It terrified me even more because after the latest scene went off, because I didn't click play all, the whole screen went black for like 5 seconds, and so my whole room was pitch black. And I was watching this at night, and for those 5 seconds, I was just thinking the monster was like in the corner. Like I was like, oh, I can kind of see his outline right there. Then the theme song and the main menu came back on. It's really bright in my room, but no, that's all it took. I was scared of the dark for the longest, and I remember after that happened, um, I couldn't be in the darkness by myself for a good minute. And I mentioned this before, but when I was younger, my dad died. And so I had to take out the trash all the time. And a lot of the times they made me take out the trash at night. Now, my old house, you'll see my house, and then you'll see on the side a gate. And the gate, you open it, and there's like a little hallway before it goes out into like a big backyard. And in that little hallway, that's where the trash cans were. So my mom and my sisters would be like, Captain Yeet, go take out the trash. It's like nighttime, not like 2 or 3 in the morning, but the sun has gone down. It's pitch black. So I'm like, no, I can't do this. That little hallway is completely dark. I'm thinking the spooky other monsters are there. I never told my family I was scared of the monsters. I just kept it to myself. I can't do that. I'm like, yo, take out the trash, Captain Yeet. I'm like, okay, okay. So I just ran as fast as I could all the way to the trash can. Gotta dump it. Gotta run all the way back. I just couldn't do it. I was so scared. I was really scared of the dark, man, because of those monsters. I'm good now. I was like, I'm good now. I'm 20, 24. I'm good now, but still, those monsters, man, I was so scared of that. I got scared. I just couldn't handle it. Isn't it a really cool scene of Daphne fighting the macho Mexican wrestler, which is pretty dope. I love this scene so much, especially whenever see like who's the damsel in distress now? Me. Yeah, straight up. And kicks him downwards. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And I thought that's a little character arc for her too, because like I said, she's been like the damsel in distress, and they kind of integrate that into like more modern Scooby-Doo stuff. That she's like a fighter and stuff. But she's like she's been the damsel in distress. She's always getting caught no matter what, and she feels really bad about that. And so, oh wait, actually, I'm sorry, I got confused. I clicked off the scene by accident. But she's the damsel in distress. She's always getting caught. She feels really bad about that. That's why she's been training for the past 2 years to defend herself. But even so, they keep making it like somewhat of a running joke that she can't defend herself, even though she says she can. And what I mean by that is in the beginning of the movie when we get to the airport, Daphne Mexico, because we don't get that flashback. They cut the flashback out. So we don't get the flashback of her training. So Daphne says to Fred and Velma that she's been training for the past 2 years to defend herself. Obviously, they both start to laugh. They both start to crack up. Then throughout the movie, whenever all the monsters start to ransack the hotel, that's just a crazy scene, man. Absolutely monsters. There was so many coming in there, boy. But anyway, whenever she tries to use her kung fu to defend Mondavarius, a monster grabs him anyway. When they're inside the bases, she brings up her kung fu. It fails her anyway. She just tips over. When she tries to fend off the Mexican wrestler, when he takes the damaged riders back, it fails anyway. Like, it just keeps. It's not like they're making fun of her specifically, but I guess in one or two scenes they are. But most other scenes it's just circumstances. But finally, at the end of the movie, when she has to go to the top of the roof to open up the gate so they can have the sunlight come in to kill the monsters, the Mexican wrestler comes in and she gets a 1v1. And this fight was going crazy. When she kicked him in the head, she slammed the door in his face and the glass went everywhere. He broke through the door and they were just still going crazy. Like, this fight went dummy. I was like, get him, Daphne, get him, Daphne. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's my girl right there. She's getting it. And obviously, they integrated that into the second movie too. Whenever she was like fighting the Black Knight Ghost and all the other monsters too. But we're talking about this. But they were integrating that in there. And I've seen the integration of her being like more of a fighter in some modern Scooby Doo stuff too, which is kind of cool. Like they just kept that going off of this and keeping it moving. I was so happy, man. I was so happy whenever all the souls they were let out and they were just going back to all where they were supposed to be. I saw a video. I can't. It's been so long since I've seen that video. It's been forever. But I saw a video that said Scrappy wasn't supposed to be the original villain, and the robot face when he took the mask off did kind of freak me out. Also, Scooby not knowing what a sacrifice is. Come on, dog. But anyway, Scrappy wasn't supposed to be the actual main villain of the movie. It's been so long since I've seen the video, so I gotta find it somewhere so I can put in the links in the comics. But they said that the original plan for the end of the movie was going to be this giant monster from like a different universe. Well, no, actually, it was supposed to be like a giant version of the monsters in the movie, but it was gonna come through a portal, and he was gonna have like the big mastermind plan to send the monsters out everywhere inside the human bodies and stuff. But at the end of the movie, when they had to film it, the like directors started to think like, what would this giant monster from another universe want Scooby Doo for? I mean, I guess he is the pure soul, but he wouldn't know Mystery Incorporated to know he's a pure soul. Why would he want Mystery Incorporated to be here? It's like a little wonky. So that's when they were like, you know what? Let's just bring Scrappy in here. I know who Scrappy was when I was a kid. I didn't really see him in too much Scooby Doo stuff that I watched personally. Honestly, the only Scooby Doo things I ever seen Scrappy in were Scooby Doo Ghoul School. I loved that movie when I was a kid. I wanted to do an anniversary thing, but the anniversary went by. So I gotta wait till next year. But the Scooby Doo Ghoul School, there was Scooby Doo and the werewolf. Yeah, when Shaggy turned into a werewolf and that one monster girl was liking him. He also had his own girlfriend too, and he wore the red T-shirt in those movies. I don't know why they did that, but yeah, there was Scooby Doo Ghoul School, the werewolf movie, and there was another movie where it was like just Scooby, Shaggy, and Scrappy. But I just seen Scrappy in those things, so that did kind of surprise me that he was the main villain in here. When Fred and Velma were dancing in the ritual, and they also put the point at Fred, Fred was like, "What are y'all doing? Y'all forgot the best part. It's the electric slide. Back it up. No, back it up." What are you doing? Like, come on, that is not gonna trick anybody. That's not gonna get anybody. That was dumb. That was so dumb, man. I don't know what he was doing. There's another latest scene that's kind of funny when Scooby Doo was captured and he kept pretending. Well, in the deleted scene, it starts off with him pretending that he's dying. He goes, I'm dying. And he flops over. And then he looks up. He goes, I'm really dead this time. And his guards are like, then why are you talking? It didn't work the first 12 times. It's not working this time. Like, what are you doing? Okay, I'm back. I know you saw that the video was paused. I'm not showing the DVD just yet. I just had to get up and get some water. I'm not gonna lie. I was getting parched. I was getting parched. I love the after credit scene at the end of the movie when when Scooby and Shaggy was eating those really hot peppers and he was like, what the wimp? Wimp! And then Shaggy and Scooby screamed so loud. Oh, smoke was coming through the eyes of the Spooky Island like little tiki mask. I know I mentioned this before. I remember I was walking in a science class with my community colleagues, and my friend sent me a reel. No, not a reel. He sent me a post on TikTok, and the post was like, "I always wanted to come here as a kid," and it's so like the set of Spooky Island, and on the set, uh, I'm sorry, I think about this is so funny. On the set. I was like, oh, I would love to went to Spooky Island too. I would have left before nighttime though, because that's when the monsters come. My friends all know I love Scooby Doo. They said, well, he texted me, "Your stupid tail would have got caught up chilling with Scooby and Shaggy. Then nighttime would have came. You would have put your hands on your head." I don't know why, but that just had me cracking up. I just pictured in my head like me paddling around with Scooby, and the sun goes down. I'm like, what the? No, no! Freaking out. I can't do this. I don't want to show this one scene. So this is specifically the cave with the soul like bucket thing. I always thought this was a face. I don't know why. Like for a split second, every time I see this, even now or when I was a kid, I thought this was a face. Because if you look at the little the bucket thing that the souls are in, I thought it was like a zigzaggy like shark teeth. I thought like the vat at the very top on the roof where you have to open it for the sunlight. That was the eyeball and the face, like the nose with like the little railing thing. Like I always thought this was like a face for a split second, man. Like, and when I saw this as a kid, I always thought it was a face. When I see it now, I still see kind of like the face markings. Well, there actually aren't any face markings, but I always saw that. I don't know about you guys, but I saw that every time I see this scene. It's not a face, but I always seen that. I've always seen that. Here's another scene too when Mary Jane's face like kind of almost came off too. Like that came off, but the monster, you can see the monster inside of it. Really creepy stuff. Oh, it was. I'm gonna show this too, also on the screen. But it was a really cool thing to where on the main menu in the very beginning is pitch black, and you hear Scooby go Raggy, Raggy, and you can see his eyes, and you hear noise in the background. He goes, "What is that? Monster, monster!" That running gag with I got a call for Dew. You mean Melvin Dew? Nah, Scooby. Then at the end of the movie with Scrappy, bring me Scooby Doo. Wow. Don't you mean Melvin Doo? That was a good little bit of gag. They only use it twice, but that was a good gag. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, that was funny. And Scooby is smoking. I mean, I know it's Scooby, but I got a bag of hamburgers. Just coming to the deepest, darkest part of the forest where no one can see you. Okay. I know that's supposed to be the joke, but still, it's like, yo, you are smoking. Here's the really creepy scene of Mary Jane's face being kind of wonky whenever the monster was in there. That was really kind of creeped me out as a kid. Let's see. When Fred's group of monster humans, oh yeah, when he went inside of Daphne's body by accident, I couldn't go to my own body. Panicked. Hey, I can look at myself naked. Fred, you kind of wilding now. He did it anyway. You saw him look down, and then they kept changing in the forest. That one scene. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I just want to make sure I get everything. That scene in near the beginning. It's not really in the beginning, but when Daphne went to like the shaman, remember he was like telling her, purple is a fall color. It's the middle of May, and he was also yelling at her for interrupting the ritual. My second oldest sister, she would crack up at that one specific scene. Not the ritual, but whenever he says purple's a fall color, it's the middle of May. I didn't really laugh at that as a kid. I don't really laugh at that now. But she thought that was hilarious. He is kind of like a fashion person, so I guess he kind of understood the, middle of May. I mean, I kind of get what he's saying, but I didn't really. I don't see that. I mean, in my mind as a kid, even now, you can wear whatever color you want. And I was also thinking to myself, purple's Daphne's color as a kid. What's the problem? Like she's supposed to wear purple. Like, I wasn't thinking like fashion and stuff, but that scene will have my second oldest sister cracking up so much. But whenever Fred's group of monsters started to chase Shaggy and Scooby, this one dude punched the glass window that Shaggy was looking at, and the glass like went straight in Shaggy's face. I'm like, jeez, man, like is he not hurt? Only like a split second thing, I guess, but my goodness, I know that had to hurt, boy. Um, let's see. Anything else before I go to the DVD? Because the DVD, I do want to show this really cool scene where there's like a little Scooby snack that keeps falling around on the DVD, and if you click it fast enough, it shows like a little. It's not an after credit scene. It's like I don't know what you called it. What would you call this? I don't know. I don't know what you call this, but it basically filming. It shows them filming the movie, and while they were filming the movie on this island, it was starting to rain. So like, hey, we're here filming. It's raining. I thought that was so cool. I like when I was a kid. I don't mention this a lot, but I loved. I mean, maybe that's why I want to become a screenwriter. I don't know. But anyway, I just loved. I mean, I loved watching like after. I mean, this isn't called after credit scene, but I love watching development. That's the word. Development on how the movie is made, either live action or animated. Like the Monster Inc. movie, I used to love watching how Monster Inc. was made. Whenever it was so like the animators animating the movie, just moving around the 3D models, showing the people writing it, concept art, them acting out how each scene is supposed to go, like that kind of stuff. I loved watching that when I was a kid. Even like the scene I'm about to show when I pop in the DVD, whenever they were like, hey, we're filming the movie, but I see the cameras, I see like the props for what the monster's supposed to look like. I thought that was so fascinating. I love looking at that kind of stuff when I was a kid. I still love looking at it now, but it just blew my mind. I'm like, what? So that how did they like? How do they make the monster real? How do they do that? Like this and that. Like I love that. I used to love looking at that so much. I thought it was so cool. Like, come on now, that was so dope. Not absolute. Oh no! I would have been spazzing, boy. Like there was like I don't know, like 5 to 6 of those purple monsters busting into the hotel. Man, I am bolting. They also had that unique ability, besides from like morphing that body to go inside of you. Pause. They can like shoot out this green gas that makes you pass out. When Shaggy got hit with the gas, he didn't pass out, but when everyone else did, they pass out instantly. Also, the scene with Scrappy peeing on Daphne, that was disgusting. that was that was nasty. When in the little flashback, I just left them in the desert. I mean, I know they were annoyed with Scrappy, especially him peeing on her, but still, that was crazy. I do want to see what they looked like when they were younger. This one shot. Yeah, this is a good shot of Mystery and Quentin. Yeah, come on, this is a beautiful shot of the crew. Look at them. Look at them, man. Oh, that is so good. I'm sorry if I'm showing the screen a bit too quickly. I remember when I recorded Monsters Unleashed for the anniversary video. I was so a scene really quickly, and I got copyrighted on a ton of different stuff. I got copyrighted on a ton of stuff, and I was like, "What?" That video was 58 minutes long, and now the video I got uploaded for it right now for the anniversary is 58 minutes long too. I'm like, yeah, I had to re-record that whole thing. So I'm showing the scenes kind of quick. I don't want to show them for too long. I don't want to get copyrighted, and I don't understand how that worked. The volume is down. I'm talking through the whole thing, but for people like now, when I call them out, I'm not being mean, but I'm just confused on how like the legal system works because people like CinemaSins will like show the movie. I know it's fast paced, but they have the volume go and they're constantly showing the movie. They don't cut away like I do. The movie's still on the screen. It's just whenever they're not, having the volume on to show a specific scene, they're talking. But I'm like, but it's still showing what is on the screen. Also, there'd be people uploading full on clips of different movies like this, other movies too, and it's just like the clip of the movie, just them either record on their phone or just like an actual uploaded clip, a full on like 5 minute clip and nothing. So why do I get copyrighted for just showing it on my TV while I'm talking? I don't understand that. I'm not getting mad at you, WB. Don't get on me, please. I'm just really confused about that. At the volume down, I'm not talking. I mean, I'm talking through the whole thing and just confused about it. I guess it's whatever. It's whatever. Anyway, I think that's about it for everything I'm gonna show on Netflix. Besides this one scene that I'm gonna pop in the DVD, show that one deleted scene, and also the actual like main menu screen because it is pretty cool. Because you keep seeing the shadow of the monsters pop up every now and again, and Scooby gets scared, and the Scooby snack just keeps flailing around. It was pretty dope. Classic Scooby Doo. I mean, come on, hiding inside of a costume so you don't get caught. That was good. Also, Scooby hiding in a costume so he can get on the plane. I know, Grandma. Don't eat the kitty. Shaggy was wilding. He goes, I'm not stopping school until your first sings is off. What? Is that not a crazy line? And Scooby was like, Shaggy, stop. Shaggy, stop. That was so dumb. Yo, they are hilarious. You do it, when Daphne was trying to convince them to get inside the castle. Uh-uh. We do not do that. Why not? Well, there's always a statue. You think it's a statue, but it actually follows you every time you turn around. How many times has that happened? 12. We're not going in. Yo, these jokers are so stupid, boy. Actually, I do want to show a better shot of Mary Jane. I didn't really show a good shot of Mary Jane before. It was when she was. I wish they brought her back in the second movie because her and Shaggy had some good chemistry. I'm writing. Did I say this? I don't know. Actually, yeah. As you know, I want to become a screenwriter. I want to make my own TV show. So I'm trying to make a portfolio. So I'm writing out the actual show I want to make, my original show. I'm not gonna say any details on that. I kind of keep that secret. Not saying you guys would steal my stuff, but just in case, I'm keeping that secret. But I am writing out a hypothetical Scooby-Doo 3 movie live action. I'm writing out like an actual script for that just for fun because I want to do that. I actually got like a good amount of pages done. I was thinking about reading out the pages, like the script pages that I have ready so far on like a video, like just making a video like this and just reading out what I have so far. And then if you guys like it enough, I mean I'm gonna keep writing it in general, but if you guys like it enough, whenever I write a bit more of it, I'll do like a part 2 to that. If you guys want me to upload that, I wouldn't mind. I'm probably gonna write a bit more if I do. But I'm writing a hypothetical, and in the hypothetical, I have Mary Jane. Now, I did make a video on what the hypothetical be like. If you watch that video, it's not one to that. It's somewhat the same, but I am changing around a few story details and characters and stuff. So just in case somebody watches the video, I'm changing a few things around. But yeah, I would have loved for her to come back. Her and Shaggy had some good chemistry. Like it was really sweet. I don't know why they didn't bring her back. They also didn't bring back Velma's love interest. I mean, Patrick's a bit better love interest, but still, I wish they would have brought them back in the second one. It only makes where they went. I mean, probably assumingly the actor couldn't make it, or maybe she didn't want to come back for two. I don't know, but yeah, it just kind of sucks. She was just gone. That really sucks. Is that everything I got for Scooby-Doo 1? Yeah, that's just about it, honestly. So, okay, I'm gonna pause the video really quickly. Jeez, we're at 40 minutes. I didn't realize I'm talking about Scooby-Doo. But, okay, I'm gonna pause the video really quickly and then go to, what I had to go to. I'm gonna go to the DVD. I forgot what I was even talking about. Okay, one last shot before we leave. I mean, before I pause it. This is such a good shot of the gang, isn't it? This is really good. My boys. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Now I get the DVD and the side. And I forgot, it has two black bars since it's such an old movie. So it's probably a good thing I was showing most of the stuff on Netflix. But here's a part like the opening sequence when it was supposed to be animated. This looks really good. I wish they would have kept this, man. This looks really, really good. But I guess they say, I forget what they said. I think it was like either it was too long or something. But I really wish they would have kept that. Also, there's no option to go to each specific deleted scene. I thought it was. I could have sworn that. Now that fear was still true. I'm not gonna lie. That's just scared me. That one scene, but I thought it was a scene to actually show that. I guess not. So since it's not actually an option, I have to like fast forward really quickly. But it's not gonna take too long, so I can show that one scene that scared me when I was a kid. Cause whew, that boy, that Joker got me. That Joker got me good. Um. Also, that dude knew the history of these monsters. I guess he's been here for so long, but still, it's kind of weird that he knew the history of them. And he also said they are like there's a prophecy for them to rule over the island for like a 10,000 years unless you have this dead Arnuki beast to protect you. And the Arnuki beast kind of look like the monsters. Now the Arnuki beast have multiple limbs. These monsters only have four like us, but still I'm like, I wonder if this is what they look like when they're babies or something. I don't know. I just used to think about that. Like maybe you have to have one of their own. Here's the scene I was talking about where you see him in the darkness. Whew, that got me. When I was a kid, that joke got me good. And that's the last deleted scene. Actually, you guys want to see the Daphne one? Oh, why am I even asking that? You guys can't. You guys can't respond. I guess I can show it anyway. I was asking that like you guys could respond to me. I'm so dumb. Do you guys want to see it? Like Dora, like what did it say? Oh, the Dora. Oh, okay. Okay, here's the scene when he turns into mist and he goes inside a. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. This feels kind of weird to me. Yeah, I'll send a link into it. I don't know if I want to show this. This is kind of make me feel weird. But okay, the last thing I'll show is whenever they were like filming outside. 'Cause that was really cool. Like I said, you see the Scooby snack fall onto the ground every now and again. I don't know if I can. Ah, I missed it. Dang it! I missed it, but it falls into the ground every now and again. But here's what the main menu looks like. You see the Scooby snack fall down. Like, it happens so quick, man. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna have to pause it. I'm gonna definitely have to pause it because it happens so quick. Okay, I was actually able to get it like 20 seconds after I paused the video. But here it is. Whenever they were filming outside, it was like a rainforest, so it just constantly kept raining. I thought this was so cool seeing this, man. Just seeing like the behind the scenes, the cameras and everything, them talking about how they're producing the movie. I like I said, I love looking at this kind of stuff when I was a kid. I still like looking at it now, but I thought this was just the coolest thing in the world. And that's everything I have to say for Scooby Doo, the movie, 2020, not 2020, 2002. Sorry, 2020, 2002. So, like, share, and subscribe. I see you all later. Thank you all for watching. I thank all other women human beings, and I see you guys next time. All right, bye bye. I do like to end off my videos with showing a specific scene of the movie, so I'm trying to get this one good shot when Monteverest was talking to them. I remember my friend was saying he would have left Spooky Island when Monteverest mentioned their names. And I was like, well, before they split up for 2 years, they were a famous group, so it's not weird he would know who they are, what their names are, because he's only been 2 years, so they don't look vastly different, you know? So I really don't see what the problem was. But actually, this isn't a good scene. And I'm gonna beat myself up about this. Okay, I was able to find a good scene. So I'll see you guys later. And Scooby Dooby Doo. All right. Bye bye.